Hello, we are finally going to do the true arena. Ooh, we are going to be playing as Kirby, because we kind of have to. Okay. Oops. Let's see what we get from the random ability thingy. Water. Yeah, let's make this harder. Hey there guys, I just want to say that I lost like 7 times. And the recording I'm going to show you is just me beating it and me commentating over me beating the arena. Of course, we have to pick sand. So Wispy Woods is the first boss I had to fight, and he's actually very simple. He's not that hard at all. All you have to do is just use your sandstorm upwards, and when he does his inhale or when he does his spikes, just turn to a pyro sand. That's kind of it. Next up, we have the 4. First off is Kibble Blade. You should be able to finish him off after he gets onto the other side. Next is Mountain Doom. He's very simple. First, he will just charge right at you. Next, he will try to stomp on you while swearing up. This will happen 3 times, and you should be able to defeat him like I just did. You can actually defeat both these two very easily at the same time. Just spam it, and Interesting Dubier will follow you and use his lightning attack on you. Then you can just finish both of them off. Okay, so next we have Rip Off Goku. Right after he breaks the floor, there should be a side he goes on. It's usually to the right, and you want to stay over there because he'll bounce over there, back there, and then he'll climb up. Then just spam your upwards ability. He should be down to half health. Then he should go on to his Super Saiyan phase. After he breaks the floor, he will use a Spirit Bomb technique on the floor. This boss fight can be very dangerous if you let it drag on for a while, but luckily I was able to defeat him, so yeah. So here are the Sphere Doomers, and they will go in a specific order. First one, that is the light green electricity one. The second one, it's basically the twins, and the last one is the snow one. Depending on how you play the game, Mr. Deuter can be one of the most annoying ones ever. Him jumping is very hard to deal with sometimes, and when you want to get as much damage done in the quickest amount of time with the least amount of damage possible, it can be kind of hard. But overall, he's not a hard boss, as long as you know how to deal with him. I feel like Fatty Puffer is one of those bosses that everyone can agree that's kinda annoying, but also fairly simple. Hopefully that's not just me. One of the more annoying bosses, but once you know how to deal with him, it's very simple. It's kind of like Mr. Deuter. The triple, how would I say about them? Boop, bop, pow. Metal General is one of those ones that it's very hard to defeat if you don't know his attacks. Once you know what his attacks telegram look like, then he's not that hard. He's actually very simple once you know his attacks telegraph. Grand Doomer is one of those ones that is supremely irritating to deal with. After you lost to him 1,000 times, you start to know where he's gonna go and what his attacks begin to look like. If you can't get rid of the red balls, it can be kind of annoying to deal with, but overall, fairly simple. Something I've noticed with Landia is that it's always in the 12th spot, no matter what. Landia really isn't that hard once you know the attack pattern. Landia will always start out with this wing attack, and then it will always go for a triple swing. Then after you've gotten it to half HP, it will just split into 4, like always. After this happens, you're going to want to target at least one because they all share the single HP bar. This fireball attack can be kind of difficult to dodge if you're just focused on attacking, so be aware and you will defeat Landia. This next one is the Atlantic version of Goku, and he's basically the same thing except with water. He also has the instant transmission type BS, but if you know how to defeat him with Maglor in the Maglor's epilogue, he should be fairly easy to deal with. This is just basically Mr. Dunphy with electric abilities. Although his hat does turn to a flying saucer, it will try to zap you 2 times before it goes all the way to the right and then just electrically goes all the way to the left. This is the attack he should be doing when you finish him off. Fiery Puffer is basically just the same thing as Flubby Puffer, except he's just fire. They also forget to mention that he does this stomp attack twice, and he leaves a fire trail behind him. If you're good with your damage, this is where you should finish him off just like that. These little shits are very difficult because of like the effect that they leave whenever they run across the ground. You want to target that one right there where I'm targeting, because that one for some reason just doesn't move. You get them down to 4 HP, they will do this thing where they run at you as a group of 4, then that happens. This right here is where you should finish them off because your Sandstorm ability is hitting at least 3 or 2 of them. This guy has taken so much HP away from me, and for some reason in this recording, I just become like dodge master. I just somehow like dodge all of his attacks or deflect all of them. But you're not here for me to brag on how I just like became cracked at dodging. You're here to wonder how I defeated him. For some reason, his attack pattern stays the same. I have no idea why. He will always use the electric attack, this attack, and then a seed attack, which you can destroy the seeds. When you get him down to half HP, he'll like destroy the background, same thing as Magloire fighting him. And yeah, this will happen. You just kind of stay low with sand and just turn into a pile of sand. When he's in the center like this and uses this beam attack, this is where you want to get the most damage, because this is where you will most likely just defeat him. HRD3, you just have to wait until he does his drill attack to damage him, just like that. When he does his spinny attack, I wouldn't recommend using the upwards sandstorm, where you just hop out of the pile of sand and just upward sandstorm. You damage him because he's gonna do that for a bit and raise both of his arms up. Now this boss does have a second phase to it, and it's the part where he just comes onto your platform. All you have to do is just avoid his shadow jumping on you, and then when he fires his laser beam, get kinda close, but far enough to the point where you can't be damaged when he tilts. After he tilts and starts laser beaming, you automatically want to just sandstorm him. When he does his belly flop, do not move, turn to a pile of sand, because when he turns back up, you'll still be able to sandstorm him without taking damage because you're really close to it. And that's how you defeat HR-D3. Next up, as you can see, is the lower boss fight. This isn't different at all. You just have to feel like you would defeat the original lower EX boss fight. Next up is Magloire EX. This boss fight isn't different, although he does get one new attack, and that's kinda it. Although when he gets down to half HP and does his black hole attack, I wouldn't recommend just turning into a pile of sand, because it will just strip away your sand ability and just do a bunch of damage. I had to learn this the hard way in the Magloire Soul fight, where he does 2 black holes, but what can you really do about it? The setting looks a little different is because we are fighting this guy right here, and all I have to say about this guy is just hide, no matter what happens. Just turn into a pile of sand and just use your regular sand attack whenever you feel it's safe to come out and attack him. When you get him down to half health, you are going to want to stand in the middle and just use your upward sandstorm, and this is because he stands in the middle and does these like cosmic astral lightning bolts. If he just does this attack, you just want to turn to a pile of sand and just wait for the storm to calm down, and that's how you just defeat Galactonite. Next up is Wispy Wood's Master Crown. This is just the same boss fight as Magloire's Master Crown, and there's nothing really different about it. Lastly is Magloire's Soul, and can I just say, this guy is a step up. As you can see, he does 2 freaking laser beams. Luckily, he's full loading, so you can just go to the wall that's right next to him and just spam upward sandstorm at him. It's not all that different. He just gets like some extra attacks off you with his portals and spikes, but when this black hole attack happens, just kind of walk to the center and you won't get robbed of your sand ability. And just like that, you defeated Magloire's Soul. Was this an apple? Are we getting healed? Diddly darn right, there is a second phase to this boss. And right off the freaking jump, he uses star abilities on us. Although I will admit, the sandstorm ability and the machine ability kinda look cool. Luckily, sand will be able to save you from these star abilities, which just amazing. If he flips the screen, I wouldn't recommend attacking and just turn into a pile of sand. Unless you're good at fighting people who flip you off, then, you know, you can try that. But for me, I wouldn't recommend it until he just flips the screen right back up so you can just continuously fight him. But overall, really annoying boss fight, very annoying to deal with, but still beatable in the end. And you can just hear me celebrate in the background.
Did I do it? Oh, please tell me I finally did it. Please no third phase. Please no this. Oh, please. Yes! Oh my god. Oh, took me like 7, 8, 10 attempts. Oh. Yeah, no thanks. I will get squished. I will instantly die.